or you're watching it later. I'm actually facing Phillipsburg Mall right now. I'm at an adjacent community. It's just a short drive over. I'm going to give you some updates on Phillipsburg Mall because I get a lot of questions. There's a lot of disinformation out there, and a lot of people just kind of want to know what's going on. The answer is pretty much nothing. Nothing's really happened since they demolished the 2 anchors 2 years ago. We're going to take a ride up there. I'm going to walk around. I'm going to show you what I can. It's a little bit rainy right now, so I don't want to be out in, if it rains a little harder, it's just drizzle right now. But before I do that, first of all, if you don't have time to watch right now, that's okay. I'm going to keep this up through the weekend. And I'd also just like to, you've probably been seeing, and I guess it's backwards maybe, my Moonstar Cafe Productions. This is kind of my brand. I'm going to do more with it next year. I make calendars. This is the 2022 calendar. This one's mostly scenery and photos that I've taken. This is like at Merrill Creek. There's some trains. January's actually, this is Keansburg. January's one of my favorites. It's one of my snow pictures that I took. But I actually would like to make a mall themed one, so if anybody's interested in mall calendars, I can definitely get some of them made. But I'm going to try to keep this video short, so I'm going to drive over there. Like I said, I'm just like a 1/10 of a mile away from the mall itself. There's a community that attaches to this. The original intent was to kind of make it so that there's a, I think these are condos or townhouses, and it was supposed to be like, lifestyle center type thing, and it's like, oh, I hate to tell you, but Phillipsburg Mall is more gone than anything, so that never came to fruition. So we're just going to get up here. This is the Sears end. It connects to the Sears end. There's actually a few cars. There's actually one with its headlights on, which is interesting. I'm wondering, who might be up here. We'll go to the Sears end first because it's probably the most interesting. It's BMW. I'm hoping that they're not going to get spooked thinking I'm some kind of person that's going to kick them out, because the feeling's kind of mutual. I'm going to pick the camera up in just a second here because this is really interesting. What's become of the end of the Sears, so just hang with me here. All right. I'll figure out how to flip the camera around. Sorry, I'm doing live stream for the first time, so, give me 1 second. All right. So here's Phillipsburg Mall on the Sears end. All the wild growth. It's been totally left to the elements. I mean, you need to practically have a machete to walk through here. Yeah, how's that for fun? It's raining a little bit. There's some stuff left over from where they demolished the Sears. I suppose the answer is yes, this is how I spend Christmas, because, I don't really get invites to places. I have no idea how this grew, why it's here, but that's actually new. That's interesting. Looks like a few things have gravitated here that weren't here before. A lot of plant growth. Definitely be fun to come here in the summer. I have no idea who made this or why. This was not here the last time. But that's definitely interesting. Car seems to not really care. That's interesting. The door is open on that. I don't know if you can see it, but the door is open on that. Street sweeper up ahead, which by the way is for sale. Now these things are as tall as me. I'm over 5 feet. This used to be one of the entryways of the Sears. Had an arch. an arch entrance. I do have a piece of this floor I brought home one time. That's where it connects to the mall. I'm also going to give you some information on the Sears demolition and the Bon-Ton demolition. There's a lot of questions. Why did they demolish Bon-Ton? Well, we all know why they demolished Sears. That's because the roof collapsed, about a 200 square foot section of roof. And straight from the source, from the mall manager, the reason they demolished the Bon-Ton is there was some water damage in the Bon-Ton, but the main reason was they knew the mall was going to get demolished anyway, and literally the contractor gave them a 2-for-1 deal, and it was cheaper to demolish them both together than individually. So that's why Bon-Ton went to. That was done literally 2 years ago. That work was completed. Nothing has been done since. Here's some more of the Sears floor. Now, just so some of my viewers know, every time I've been inside this mall, I've had permission from the mall manager. The last time I was in here was July 2021, and I basically had free reign of the place. It was with permission, and I know there are people breaking into this place who are probably doing things I don't want to know. By the way, if anybody happens to jump on live, first of all, I want you to know this is the first live stream I'm actually doing, so I'm not sure how questions pop up. I'm not really a veteran of the live stream, but certainly if somebody jumps on, I'll entertain some questions. Last I had heard, the demolition permits were, they were getting the demolition permits. That was over a year ago. Oh, we're just waiting for the demolition permits. But obviously no work's been done. Right, let's go back to the car. That BMW keeps moving around. I'm not sure who it is. I'm not sure if it's a dead mall enthusiast. Or I hate to say, you know what happens to these places when they go totally abandoned. You start to get the questionable people. It rains, so this is very wet. This is another thing. I think I have a piece of this one. The entry floor. This in front of here was the auto center. And this right here was the entrance of where the auto center connected to the rest of Sears. So I find these pieces very interesting. Yeah. Bring a piece home. I always get souvenirs from this place. One of these days I will make a video of some of the various artifacts and furniture that I brought home from this mall. The Kohl's is still open. That's often a question. Everyone's like, trying to ask questions about the Kohl's. They own their own building. Kohl's does that. Kohl's owns all their own buildings. They don't lease. So they're still here, and everyone says, why don't they move? And it's like, I really honestly don't know. Maybe it is because they own their property and they're just being defiant. All right. Alright, I'm gonna go someplace else now. Flip you back. Alright. So I got a little souvenir. I'm not totally alone on Christmas. I'm going to my parents' house, but they, hate to say it, don't really have much quality visits because they're elderly and kind of starting to go upstairs, so it's more of a visit out of obligation than quality. I wish I could show you the drive-through here, but my cell phone holder doesn't, go up over the dash. I think what I'm going to do, I'm trying to avoid that BMW. They seem to not really enjoy the fact that I'm here. Kind of makes me wonder if they're selling something that I should probably not ask. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go over by the, this is reverse lights on. I have no idea what that BMW is doing. I can totally see how some creators deal with weird stuff. All right, grab the phone for just a second here. Switch you around. I think, there we go. What? It's for sale. Anyone want it? I think it officially hasn't moved in several years. But let's go for a ride. There is a little piece of news I put out on the Dead Malls Discord. I'm just going to show you this real fast. There have been complaints about trucks, overnight trucks. This is the Gold's Gym entrance. Apparently residents are not happy that there are trucks parking here overnight, so they're going to try to oust them. Honestly, I don't care, and I kind of think if anything they might, truckers in a way can be deterrents for idiots. A little bit of guardianship for them all. This is what's called entrance number 3. As you'll see up here, that's the number 3. This is where we tend to come in and out when I have permission to be here. Because I know the mall manager, I am sitting on a ton of video that I would love to release. However, I choose not to because I don't want to get him in trouble with Namdar. I somehow think that this is in part when the mall manager is here. This is, he brings food and stuff. There's your telltale. This sign's been up for 2 years. But you really can't see much of anything if I can at all. Yeah. A little bit of debris on the floor. If I can get over here, there's one of those little mall strollers. Of course, we have to see this sign. Well, I had permission to use mine. More plant life, which is nice and green in the summer. This one is taller than me. H&M. And before I totally let you go, that is the JCPenney anchor. Most recently, Black Rose. Alright, so take a quick drive here. Oops, sorry. Don't be like Dan Bell and drop the phone all the time, right? Let's take a quick drive. Mall management offices are back. That's the maintenance shed. Usually the security vehicles would be parked in this section. And of course the reason why the JCPenney / Black Rose Anchor looks nothing like the rest of the mall is because it was built later and is in desperate need of a power wash. Other creators I have seen, you know, they go through the malls that have even worse moss and other stuff. Yeah, but obviously nobody's maintaining this place. Black Rose. Last I was inside of that area, there is still merchandise inside, but you know, people have broken into the mall since, so heck only knows what's left of the place. You know, I join the dead mall community in saying that I can't stand people who just blatantly break in, especially for the reason of causing mischief. I understand that a lot of true dead mall creators do go into these places properly, don't harm anything, and by all means, you know, I accept their bravery for, you know, taking the risks. This is new. Wow. Let's take a closer look at that. That's interesting. I've literally never seen that. But you know, there's something about abandoned properties too that, you know, they tend to deteriorate faster than properties that have activity. You know, this is very interesting. Very, very interesting. I don't really know if that was done deliberately or not. This is the loading docks to the JCPenney Anchor, which I've actually never even been back here. And of course, as the dead mall communities are so fond of pointing out, there is unfortunately a lot of this. I don't understand why people dump mattresses in places like this, but we've proven time and time again that people are filthy idiots. More walls in need of a power wash. And other things that I just don't dare ask. Like, how the heck did that get here? The Kohl's was originally intended to be a Bradley's. So if you see really old blueprints, which I'm going to put in some of my videos, you'll actually see that Anchor is designated for Bradley's. When it opened, it was a Kmart, which is actually this piece right here. So this is the JCPenney that was a short part of the mall connecting to this Anchor, which is currently Kohl's. And like I said, they are open and still in business. The manager of Kohl's looks after this mall, so when she sees trespassers, she notifies the mall manager and police. So, you know, at least the times I was here, the mall manager was with me. And like I said, I'm sitting on several hours worth of video, some fantastic pictures, and I'm just holding it out of courtesy for the mall manager, who technically does still work for Namdar. Potholes here are moonscape. Trying not to hit the big ones. I mean, I don't even know how the heck does this even happen? I guess the answer is neglect. This is the back side of Kohl's. And I'm just going to take a drive. We'll finish up the video on this side here. I feel like I've overstayed my welcome, and this is probably a long video. And I know I'm not as interesting as content makers like Sal or Ace or Dan Bell, but people want to know about Phillipsburg Mall. I was hoping people might ask questions, but like I said, I understand that it's Christmas and you're probably with your families. I will entertain questions later if you want to leave comments. This is the side that was originally Kmart. You can kind of tell the architecture is a little different. They did expand. Very obvious division here. The garden center was out this way, kind of in the parking lot area. So this wall was built later. And then up here is where they converted the building into a Kohl's. And, refaced it as a Kohl's, put their branding on here. And I've heard about these too. I did hear that they have porta potties here. Very interesting story about them is even though there's truckers parked here and see a sanitation station, the reason they put these here is really stupid. Wait till you hear this one. They're there, supposedly, for Kohl's customers, which, by the way, if you've ever been, even inside of this Kohl's, they have nice clean bathrooms. Why the heck would anyone that comes to Kohl's want to use a porta potty? They're not for the truckers. They are officially for Kohl's customers. Go figure. As a Kohl's customer, I am not using a porta potty. No, thank you. I'll use the nice, clean, well-maintained facilities inside the store. I really, really honestly don't get it. Up here, the center of these little things here, they used to have that P for Phillipsburg. They used to have a little light-up sign. This used to be an Old Navy. This is what became the section that was Old Navy. We'll look at this entrance real quick, and then we'll take a quick look at the former Bonton. Right there screams idiots who can't treat anything nice. Idiots who ruin it for the next person. Idiots who ruin it for the retail archaeologists. Sorry, I keep getting all these Merry Christmas messages on the phone while I'm recording. Loading dock by Bonton. And of course, this is where the Bonton used to be, which was originally a Hess's. So this Bonton actually bore the branding of the Hess. Or Hess's, if you want to be technical. I guess I will very quickly, and I will end the video in just a minute. We'll just take a route, because there's nobody here, obviously. We'll just take a quick walk. This is the former Bonton. This is where the doors would be. The glass, black glass was here. If you look close enough, you don't even have to look closely, there's a whole bunch of pieces. Those black pieces are the black glass that used to be, part of the Hess's windows, which became, of course, the Bonton windows. This is where the doors were. And, yeah. The sales floor, the racetrack, they call it. That's where it attached to the mall. Right down that corridor, of course, was one of the 4 neon sections, and a lot of the jewelers were there, a lot of jewelry stores. You can actually still walk inside the old Bonton. Another entrance was over here, of course, but absolutely nothing's happening. Nothing is supposed to be happening in the future. I have not talked to the mall manager since July when I saw him, when he let us in. Me and somebody else were given permission. But like I said, there is a ton of video yet to come out from inside this mall before idiots got to it, before idiots did any sort of vandalizing. at least 2 content creators that I know of, myself included, are sitting on that video, and we can't wait to show it to you. But again, you know, it's a sensitive thing that, you know, we're not just gonna, you know, throw video out there. We don't want to encourage idiots to come here and cause problems. And of course we want to respect, you know, the mall manager, who last I knew does technically still work for Namdar, and we don't want him to lose any sort of position by, you know, publicly going forward and, you know, giving information that he let us. Which, what is Namdar really going to do about it? I mean, they already don't care about this place. Why would they care that, you know, somebody was allowed in? I mean, really. But well. Alright, well, let's just go to the corner and then I'll let you guys go. It's been a longer video than I planned. Like I said, I'm going to switch this to private, but I'm going to keep it up public for a few days. So, because understanding you have Christmas things to do today, you know, the last thing you want to do is sit and watch a solo flying idiot walk around a Phillipsburg Mall that has no activity. But if you're into this sort of thing, yeah, I am. People ask me why, and I'm like, I don't know, I just am. The funny thing here is this is a drain, and it's covered in water. So for whatever reason, it's not draining. The roof leaks, but the drains don't work. Go figure. All right, well, you know, like I said, I have to go to Jersey today. I'm going to visit some family at my parents' house, take them out to dinner, because, you know, they don't really get out. So, all right, guys, so feel free to ask me any questions. Reach out to me. I'm on the Dead Malls of Discord server. You can find me there under Vivian M. And, you know, if you think you might be interested in, you know, the Moonstar Cafe productions, you know, any sort of merchandise, let me know. I'd be interested in seeing what people might want. And just a little piece of information on that, Moonstar does come from Phillipsburg Mall, from the old Cafe Europa. The star and the moon, you know, I post pictures of those guys all the time. And so I made my branding to be Moonstar Cafe Productions by, you know, kind of honoring, you know, one of my favorite elements of this mall. So that being said, I'm taking up a bunch of time here. I'm going to go. I'm going to, you know, enjoy my Christmas. Just feel free to leave some comments, and I will see you guys in the next video.